From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a severe weather alert.
Good afternoon, everybody. Taylor Plott here alongside Ben Luna. Sam Campson here as well. Just want to pop on here just as a course of least regret because we know how things have been in the past. So we want to just make sure that we've got all our bases covered here. We are watching an area rotation southwest of Hartselle right now. The Weather Service in Huntsville is aware that these cells are rotating and there is a little bit of some wind shear to work with today. And the question is, do we have everything ingredient-wise correctly? And if we do, we might end up getting a very quick tornado potential today. So right now I want to zoom in and focus on this that is between Danville and Massey. This is just to the southwest of Hartselle. So if you live in the city of Hartselle, I will go ahead and just start making preparations to seek shelter. I don't think that this is something that you need to be underground. I think that if there is a quick spin-up tornado that comes from this, that you'll be able to ride it out very easily inside a site-built structure and the most interior room. Just get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. There's not a lot of lightning with this, but you can even see with that little kind of back end here, these are miniature supercells. And again, like we've said, that there does seem to be at least some ingredients in place that we might end up having to keep a very close eye on a quick spin-up tornado potential. So I'm going to give a storm track on this, and we will hang with this for at least a handful of minutes and see if it tightens up, and maybe the Weather Service in Huntsville might have to pop either a severe thunderstorm or maybe even a tornado warning on this. So here's just a heads up. Hartselle at 125, Flint City 131, Priceville 136, Gum Spring at 137, Cave Springs at 141, and Summerville at 141 as well. So again, this is that area rotation we're watching just southwest of Hartselle. There are other little areas of rotation. There's one that's coming out of Winston County and is coming through very, very extreme southeastern portions of Lawrence County in Alabama. So Piney Grove and Andrews Chapel, that's kind of where this area rotation is. It's not as tight and pronounced as the one between Danville and Massey, but there is a little bit better rotation with this one than it is back here towards that Winston County area. There's another area rotation, very weak and broad, that's on top of the New Hope community. This is just southeast of Mooresville. This is going to get very close, if not go over the Huntsville International Airport. So again, I'm not really concerned about this one in Limestone County that's moving into Madison County right now. This is the one that I'm kind of more concerned about for a quick tornado producing storm. I'm gonna flip over this is what we call just the regular base velocity. This is not taking into account where the storm's moving and kind of other factors here, but you can definitely still see that there is this little area right here that's bright green. And so that tells us that, hey, there is a little bit of rotation with this. And again, it's getting right along Highway 36, right near Massey, and this is going to go right into the downtown, kind of the heart of the Hartselle area. So again, just as a course of least regret, Hartselle, and I'll go ahead and say Priceville, Gum Spring, and the Summerville area, I would start making just preparations to take your tornado shelter in case this does tighten up. And I'm seeing if we ended up getting a new scan. And guys, if you see anything on the side, obviously chime in and let me know. There's a lot of lightning that's starting to go with that New Hope cell. Let me take a look at that. I'm not really seeing anything. The rotation is kind of in the middle of all of that kind of just cell cluster, if you will. So I'm not really concerned about this yet, but I'm keeping my eye on it. Again, the one that I'm kind of more concerned about, at least in the near term, is going to be this one that's just to the southwest of Hartselle. I do want to kind of bag things out before I go back in because I know a lot of people are tuning in from all over the area. That's the only concern that we have right now. I'm going to go ahead and circle it. This area right here is the only concern that I'm looking at on the board right now. Everything else is just some heavy rain, some thunder and lightning, and I'm not seeing anything that's really rotating that would make me be more concerned about something other than that area that I just circled. So let's go back in here. Looks like we did get a new update. So let me take a look at and that velocity signature is still there. So it's not tight, but it is definitely something that, I mean, we've seen And again, this is the reason why I'm popping on here, because we've seen how things have gone in the past. We know that signatures like these, given the right circumstances, have produced some of those brief spin-up tornadoes before across our area. It's been a very weird kind of late spring, early summer for us, with some of these just showers that either latch on to boundaries, or there is just a little bit of rotation in the low levels, just a little bit of low-level wind shear, and all the other ingredients are just right, and you wouldn't think that it would really be producing tornadoes, and all of a sudden it does. So again, this is just as a course of least regret. If you live in Hartselle, I would go ahead and at least get kind of away from windows. Again, like I said, if there is for some reason a small tornado down on this, it's not going to be one that you need to be underground. You can easily ride this one out in a site built structure, as long as you get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. These aren't going to be your super strong tornadoes. These would, if there is one, it's EF0-ish, very low end. So again, I want to stress that we're not looking at, very big bad tornado potential today if there is one, but there is that little bit of rotation. It's back in this shower, and hopefully maybe give it a couple of scans. The fact that we have a lot of other development that's happening on the back end of this, from Piney Grove to Andrews Chapel, is going to interfere with that area of rotation. So we'll just stick with it here just for a little longer, as long as I see that there is, in my opinion, a decent little area of rotation, given the circumstances that we've seen so far this year. I'm going to stick with it until I feel like it's no longer really a threat to possibly do something. So right now, and that circulation behind it that we're watching isn't really tight either. So hopefully that continues to be the case. The one near Upshaw does have a little bit of an uptick with it, so I have to keep an eye on that. So right now, the area of concern that we're looking at is right south of Highway 36. It's right along Nance Ford Road, Anders Road. What you got, Ben? Nothing? Okay, nothing in chat. Right along Anders Road. Let me get some other street names here. So again, this is coming up on the southwestern side of Hartselle. And I will say, if there is something down, we're probably going to be knowing about it very quickly. Netherly Road, Penn Road, Rice Road, that's Highway 36, that's Main Street. I already called out Nance Ford Road, Barkley Ridge Road, and then getting into the heart of Hartselle, that's going to be Sparkman Street, Highway 31. You've got Hartselle High School over here, the baseball fields. You got the small airfield that's over here just to the east, or excuse me, to the west of Highway 31, south of downtown. So again, that's kind of where this area rotation is located. So again, I stress, if you're in Hartselle, I will go ahead and at least get indoors and kind of hunker down. Again, like I will continue to stress, if there is something down with this, it's not going to be overly strong, and you'll be easily able to ride this one out inside. But I would definitely go into more of a sheltered area, if you will, in case this does end up producing a quick spin-up tornado. Again, the Weather Service knows that there does appear to be some slight potential that is trying to develop. I mean, there's a little bit of low-level wind shear to work with. If there is a boundary here, then obviously it can get a little bit more enhanced shear with it. So again, just as a course of least regret, and that's what we can do here at Tennessee Valley Weather. We don't have to break into a soap opera or anything like that. We can give you the latest information just like this without a warning if we really need to, and we feel like that it's worth giving a heads up on. So that's what we're doing here. We're giving you a heads up on it. Let me time this out real quick and see. Let me make sure I got the speed right. I think these are moving at about 30. They're not moving extremely fast. If this continues to maintain its course, it will start to get close to the I-65 corridor probably around 1:35, so probably the next 15 minutes or so. So if you know anybody who's traveling, or you are traveling and you're along Highway 31 or Interstate 65 from the Falkville area all the way up towards the Priceville exit, heads up with this. Again, I stress that there's no warning, but we've seen how these things have behaved before across the area this time of year, at least for the past, I would say, month or so. So this is definitely suspicious. And I'm going to stay on here. That last scan was good. It did weaken it a little bit. Let me go to the base velocity. So that is weaker right here, and it's right along Highway 36. This is going to be on the west side of Hartselle. And again, if for some reason there is anything down with this, we'll be knowing very quickly, because this is a very populated area. There's a lot of eyes, and the fact that I know that we have a lot of viewers over here, that they'll be out there looking. And so if you're seeing anything in the Hartselle area, post in the comments section on Facebook. If one of you guys want to take a look at that and see if there's anything that comes across. The fact that last scan did weaken, and I'll show you where it was. So this was the past. You can see how it tightened real quick. This is around 103, and that next scan got it tighter. It's not tight, but it's tight enough that's of concern. And then this one's starting to broaden out. So hopefully, like I mentioned earlier, the fact that there's just it's just this giant cluster right here. The fact that it's getting interaction with the other storms is leading me to believe that hopefully that continues the downtrend. But I'm going to hold on to it just one more scan. And again, I'm watching the one behind it near Upshaw and Piney Grove. Let me go ahead and just do a storm track on that. And in case this tries to tighten up as well, I'm keeping things roughly right around 30 miles an hour here. So this is going to be a heads up for one coming in behind it, in case that tries to tighten up. Piney Grove 126, Andrews Chapel 131, Battleground 138, Massey 139, and Falkville at 150. And I know Hartselle, you're just very on the western side of that little fan there, but that's going to be right around 150 to you as well. So that's going to be one that we're watching behind it. That one's not as strong as this one was a scan ago. So we'll just kind of hang here for one more scan. I will say that there is more lightning that's on it. And if you hear no sound in the background, we're still here. I'm just looking over some things, trying to take a deeper look. Let me look at the one that's now over the airport, just in case. That one's very broad. It's right on top of the airport, too. So this one's right here. So that will continue to move into Redstone Arsenal and move towards Research Park and the west side of Huntsville. But that one's I'm not concerned about that one. That's just some weak broad rotation. But it's something that we'll just keep an eye on. Let me back out real quick, just make sure I'm not missing anything else that's trying to misbehave out there. I'm not really seeing anything. So let's go back in. Again, we'll just wait for one more scan, and then if I don't see anything that tightens up, then we'll hop off here. But again, I stress, we know how this late spring, early summer has gone. I mean, some weird stuff has happened. So the fact that there's rotation on the board and it actually got pretty decent there for a couple of scans, we're not going to be taking any chances with this, and we're going to track it until we deem that the potential danger from this is non-existent. And guys, I know you already know this, but if you've seen anything else, go ahead and chime in. Nothing yet. That's a good thing, obviously, if we're not getting any reports. So, and then hopefully this is just something that it was just a quick little tight area rotation that just didn't really do anything, which would be good. But of course, I reiterate the fact that we've had stuff go on already kind of weird wise this year. Don't want to take any chances. So again, it looks like we're still waiting on one more scan. I'll go ahead and do this. If this cluster is going to continue to track towards the northeast, so even though the area rotation looks like it's definitely on the weakening side of things, I mean, you're still going to be seeing this move through Priceville, the southwestern Madison County area near the airport. I know you're seeing that cell on top of you right now, but this stuff's going to be moving in behind it. So. And that one, the core on this kind of dropped off. So, yeah, and that has completely fallen apart now. It's still broadly rotating, but you see how it's not as it's not as pronounced as it once was between Danville and Massey. So I think that if there was anything that tried to get going from this, it has already tried to do it. And if there was maybe a quick spin-up tornado, let me look at the correlation coefficient and see if I see anything that... No, that's noise right there, I believe. Yeah, that's most likely noise right in here. So I don't see anything that looks like maybe we had a quick one, but I will at least say this: the rotation has definitely fallen apart very rapidly here, so that's really good. So let me just do like a quick back out view. I don't think that there is a danger for a quick tornado now in the Hartselle area. But man, that got really, really close very quickly. So hopefully we got away with not really having anything to happen that happened there. So just kind of a broad overview here. Again, we got a lot of other showers around, and I'm not seeing anything that specifically says that there's an imminent tornado threat. There's a little bit of rotation here south of Petersburg near Howell, up north of Fayetteville. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. But I don't see anything I don't think that signature is as strong as the one that was trying to get going towards the southwest of Hartselle. So again, we're watching things on the back end. Let me go ahead and just go back in here and take a look and see what that southern one's doing. That's not looking impressive near Piney Grove, but we're still watching things. And like I said, the Weather Service in Huntsville is aware that there does appear to be at least some maybe low-end quick tornado threat that might try to materialize if any of these cells get strong enough and have enough low-level shear to work with. So we're not going to go anywhere. Obviously, we're going to be keeping a very close eye on these things. And so I just wanted you to be aware, especially with that one that was in Morgan County, southwest of Hartselle. I'm not seeing anything that is overly significant now. So if you did end up kind of hunkering down in your house, you can, get away. You can go back to your living room, whatever you're doing. Obviously, wouldn't recommend going outside because there's a lot of lightning and storm activity going on. But at least if you did take your tornado precautions, you can get out of that right now. We'll keep a very close eye on things over the coming hours or so. Chief Meteorologist Fred Gossage will be in here soon. And if there is anything that becomes a little more suspicious, or if there is a warning popped on, then he will be on here in a moment's notice giving you the latest information on that. All right, so that's going to end things here. Again, not seeing anything significant now southwest of Hartselle, which is good, and hopefully that remains to be the case across the entirety of our area today. So from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, I'm Taylor Plott alongside Ben Luna and Sam Camp. Stay with the Tennessee Valley Weather Team. We'll keep you advised.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.